These majestic creatures deserve to be protected and are a staple of Montana.
Why did most other wolves get taken off the endangered species list? And what caused the gray wolf to be returned to it after all these years? And what can we do to protect them?
The American gray wolf, otherwise known as Canis lupus, is native throughout eastern Montana and all of Idaho. These majestic creatures can eat up to 20 to 30 pounds of meat in a single meal. They can also form relationships with crows that lead them to carcasses. These creatures deserve to be protected under Montana law, but let's find out how they're protected.
Once the world's most widely distributed mammal, the gray wolf's population has been reduced down to 1/3 of what it was. Gray wolves are most commonly getting killed for revenge on livestock or fear of human attacks. Now let's ask an expert more about these gray wolves.
How has the wolf population fluctuated within the past decade, and how has that affected the local population of herbivores?
Yeah, so in the last decade, the wolf population really has hovered around that 11 to 1,200 wolf mark. However, that's going to be impacted obviously as the hunting harvest increases, which is what's happening here in Montana and Wyoming and eventually Washington as well. And interestingly enough, there's always an argument that more wolves mean more predation on herbivores like elk, for example, when in reality the opposite is true. The more wolves, the better that they are at keeping track of sick and injured animals and really weeding out those weak animals. And that actually, believe it or not, helps those trophy elk, which everybody wants when they hunt, get bigger, stronger, and better. And so having a wolf population healthy is actually much, much more healthy for the ecosystem than it is not having wolves at all.
How well have the wolf populations recovered since they have been added to the endangered species list, and since protection has been provided for the wolves?
So at the end of the day, the Endangered Species Act certainly did its job in the fact that it protected wolves. However, it's far too early to remove them from that list. I think it's easy for folks that are anti-wolf to say, well, listen, we've put protections into place, their populations are healthy, but they're not, unfortunately. Their numbers aren't where they should be. There definitely needs to be a stronger population. And again, they've hovered right around that mark of about 1,200 wolves, but as harvests start to increase, that's just going to decrease those numbers overall. And then we're going to lose wolves again in Yellowstone, and we know that's a bad thing when that happens. And so in order to preserve the wolf and the ecosystem that they live in, we believe that those protections need to stay in place, and it's far too early and far too premature to actually remove those protections.
As said by Jeff, the wolves have been protected. What is being done to protect the wolves? Laws have been implemented for wolves. In February 2022, a federal judge restored a protection to gray wolves, reversing a Trump-era rule that removed the Endangered Species Act protection from the animals across most of the country. The ruling prohibits wolf hunting and trapping in states outside of the northern Rocky Mountains. Some states, however, have overruled this, such as Idaho. The Bush administration gives livestock owners in Montana and Idaho more power to kill wolves. Under the new 10J rule, livestock owners can kill wolves without a permit if wolves are chasing livestock.